Grue Lall playing a strong club system, very aggressive openings, and we will see even more now, I suspect. And anti-percentage lines in the play in order to create swings if they think that the contract will be the same in the other room. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Really,
Hey Ben, go on.
I was just about to say, Ron, I think it's just as difficult to work out the second best line as it is to work out the best line. So these players are certainly good enough to work out those lines, and certainly good enough to decide when it's close enough and worthwhile to try the second best line to create the swing that you're talking about.
And talking about light openings, I'm pretty sure, well, I am sure that Grue is going to open one diamond with the North cards.
I'm not betting against you, Roland.
And if not one diamond, perhaps three diamonds, who knows?
I was going to ask you a trivia question, Roland, not an easy one to answer, I dare say, but of the times which the USA has won the Bermuda Bowl, how many times was it the USA 2 team that claimed the victory?
I'm sorry, David, I don't have that info on hand, so I'll have to look it up. After all, I'm not a walking encyclopedia.
Oh, shock horror. We all thought that you were.
Well, David, you sound like a man who's got the answer. What is the answer?
I don't have any answers whatever about the history of bridge, and certainly not which year something happened. I never remember any years in my own life. It just amazes me when people say in 1982 we moved to Canada or something. How on earth do they remember years like that? I can't do it.
But you do remember your wedding day, don't you? If you don't tell anyone.
As it happens, my wedding day is the day before Valentine's Day, or the day after, I can't remember. But anyway, it's adjacent, so I never forget it because all the shops are selling Valentine's Day cards.
So this would normally be a one diamond opening for them. So this is a change of tactics already, not opening the hand.
I just looked it up, David. The answer is USA 2 has been the Bermuda Bowl champion 3 times, and in addition, North America USA team beat defending champions, the other USA team, in the 70s.
1977 in Manila, Philippines.
Aha, so you are a walking encyclopedia, Roland.
Yeah, well, kind of. I do know, however, that it has never happened that an American team did not win a gold medal in either series. Since the Senior Bowl was introduced, you would always find USA with a gold medal in at least one of the series. So this will probably make history.
On this deal, the opening bid of 3 clubs by South is not at all what we were discussing about the Americans pushing out the boat because they're trying to recover a vast number of imps. It's a perfectly standard 3 club opening. I'm sure nearly all the players in the tournament would make it in the 3rd seat when non-vulnerable. Their partner couldn't open the bidding, so they're just putting up a barrier to make it much harder for East-West to find their best trump suit and to decide what level to play at, if any. Having said that, I see at the other table that the first 3 players did pass. West opened a heart in 3rd, and North came in with 1 no trump, having some conventional meaning. East doubled, and South played in just 2 clubs, the bidding stopping surprisingly low.
So USA gained 5 imps on the very first board, and remember, you should add 7 imps to the USA total. So the score is 220 to 291. So getting a little closer.
Well, 5 imps I think is the rate required, Roland.
Yes, the run rate, so to speak.
Yes, I think your commentators all know what that means, being cricket fans, as we all are.
However, in this match, the Dutch team have very reliably, every sort of 6, 7, 8 boards, just plonked a double-figure swing into the plus column. Made many gains on the slam hands, and in fact their bidding and play has really consistently been just that little bit sharper than the play of the very young and USA 2 team that have done so brilliantly. First of all, to even qualify for the Bermuda Bowl, beating 2 crack teams including Nickel, and then fighting their way all the way through to the gold medal match. Well done to them.
The Netherlands obviously is a small country physically and relatively small population, much smaller than the US, maybe only 5 or 6% the population of the US. But what a lot of people don't know is the Netherlands is perhaps the 3rd biggest bridge federation in the world. They have something like 90,000 registered bridge players, which is a little bit behind France and a little bit further behind the US, which is about 150,000 registered players.
Well, I think they're in 2nd. They're ahead of France. They have around 120,000.
Does anyone know the number of registered players in China? They must be clocking up some big totals. We can expect them to be the top country before long, I hope.
Most recent figures are low 30s, actually very similar to Australia, but they have a bigger population to draw and grow from, I think.
Anyway, we are supposed to comment on the bridge plate, although it will hurt David that we should say something about a 1 no trump contract. All we can say at this point is that it won't play particularly well, with ace queen of spades being offside, with the defence able to set up the clubs.
Since they took 5 bids to get there, it's a bit surprising they didn't find their 4-4 heart fit.
I guess this could be maybe even 4 off, yeah? Seems like 5 clubs, 3 diamonds and 2 spades. Sorry, 4 clubs, 3 diamonds and 2 spades. But they can cash 4 hearts and get their diamond trick. So, 2 off. Okay, I'll settle for 2 off.
At the other table, East opens 1-no trump, as we might expect, holding a sort of balanced 15 count. And partner took the slight risk of bidding Stayman on the hand. He was willing to play in 2 spades if partner rebid in that suit. Since he was lucky enough to find partner respond 2 hearts, he must have been disappointed to end up 2 down. But I'm not quite sure what he would have done over 2 diamonds, because to correct that to 2 hearts might put you in a 4-2 fit.
I think he was prepared to pass 2 diamonds too.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right, Roland. I think by and large that's the percentage play. When you've got some holding in both majors, the risk of missing a 4-4 or even a 4-3 major suit fit is too great. And so long as you can bear playing 2 diamonds, you should go out via Stayman.
Gosh, you think so? I mean, surely the percentage action is to pass 1-no trump on that hand. Why on earth not? He's just got a flat 5 count. I mean, he may have been bidding, hoping to get some small swing on a pathetic low hand, which wasn't very easy. I don't think many people would bid Stayman on that.
I can name at least one.
Well, yes, but even if West thought that pass would be the percentage auction, maybe he decided not to take the percentage auction and Stayman instead.
Yes, I can only think of one player who would bid Stayman, apart from the people in the current final. Tim Burke used to mention to me some mad mad Australian called Ben Thompson. I don't know if any of us have heard of him.
Oh yeah, I heard of him. It's Dave's brother, I think. Dave Thompson's brother.
Yes, I think that's right.
You don't by any happy chance, Roland, know what was the meaning of this very economical auction up to 1-no trump, do you? What the 1 heart rebid is marked as conventional. What does it mean? Does anyone know?
Remember that the 1 diamond response is 4 or 5 way, as far as I recall. So yes, 1 heart has a conventional meaning, depending on which kind of response partner has.
A heart is either balanced or clubs and hearts. So balanced weak no trump or clubs and hearts. 1 spade says which one is it, and 1 no trump is I have the 12-14 no trump.
Goodness me, well that's excellent. I thought for a moment you must be Al Hollander.
I've been listening to Al very carefully. I've gone to school on him.
Now he's the walking encyclopedia as far as systems are concerned. He spent hours after hours on systems, studying them in detail.
Yesterday I was doing tap-in commentary on the open room of this match, and it was the first session of the day, and of course we had a Dutch pair just about to start on a relay sequence. And I said that the BBO expert on these relay systems is Al Hollander, but of course, you know, being this time of day and him being American, he would be fast asleep at the moment. And I was then told that he was actually already commentating in the closed room. So I'm not sure whether he's at home and it was the middle of the night and he was up, or if in fact he was over in Europe somewhere.
No, he is at home. I believe in the Las Vegas area. So in the same time zone as Los Angeles. So it was. Was it the second set? If it was a second set, it would have been something like 4:45, 5 o'clock in the morning for him.
No, it was actually the first set, so it must have been around midnight.
1:30 a.m.
A diamond for Grue and Lall is below their no-trump range, so a balanced hand of around about 11 to 13, or 10 to 15 naturalish. I think they bid a spade whenever they have a chance after a diamond heart of spades, so I don't think that Lall promised diamonds necessarily when he bid a spade.
Got a message from Isolde in Salem, Oregon, and she says, I've been watching since 3 a.m. Well done to you. And did you say, David, yesterday that you would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning or something to actually see the explanation of the 3-spade non-serious slam try?
No, it's not to see the explanation of it. It was just such an unbelievable bid. I just couldn't believe it. He had some totally useless hand. The other side had stopped in a part score, and he was just about to brilliantly bid to game, and on his very feeble hand, he made a slam try. And someone explained, oh, well, this is only a non-serious slam try. Goodness me, he had something like an 8 count and a shortage in his partner's suit, and they were struggling to get to a sort of thin game. So I just couldn't believe that he'd made the bid, and I was saying that I expected, because it had been played so well eventually, a beautiful cross ruff, I'd almost forgotten this atrocious bid, but I was just thinking that perhaps I'd wake up and see this horrible bid in a nightmare in the middle of the night. It would wake me up.
Good defence from Drijver there, refusing the ruff and getting rid of his club loser. So Grue will get one more heart trick and go one off.
Yeah, still better than the result in the other room. Another 2 imps. So they are below the run rate now, and they can't afford too many dot balls.
They
Sorry.
can't afford a
Sorry to the spectators who are not familiar with cricket terms.
They can't afford to have too many 2 club, 2 heart and 1 no trump contracts either, obviously, because you can't get an average of 5 boards unless you 5 imps a board, unless you have a few 12s and 13s. So you need a few big competitive hands. That's where you can get the swings, if you can judge the heart spades hands well. Anyway, as I said, I don't really think it's possible to catch up a margin like that unless you're world champions and you're playing a bunch of duffers from the local club. If you're facing this Dutch team who've just been playing so fantastically well in all departments of the game, you'd be pretty lucky to catch up 20 imps, really.
Really, the Dutch have been building towards this for several years. They work enormously hard in their program. They're very tough, they're very disciplined. They have a deep squad, and they tough it out like all day, every day amongst themselves to be in this position.
In the last session, I was being told how the pair we're watching now, Brink and Drijver, are very keen on physical fitness, and this guy claimed that they played tennis between the sessions. I'm not sure, that sounds a bit like an exaggeration, because in the half-hour or 1 hour gap between sessions, you can hardly imagine them dashing outside for a game of tennis, but I know what he means. Basically, they are fit and they look fit, and they looked very, very fresh on the live video film this morning.
How many?
No trumps is
How many? Okay, David.
I was just going to say that 2 no trumps is 19 to 21 points, and he could have opened a heart and reversed, couldn't he? But it's still quite a sensible decision. It's not so wildly off that we would say he was bending it because of the score. It's quite an attractive opening bid to make in the circumstances.
Grue's going to need the ace of clubs on side to make this, which of course doesn't happen.
Well, it's too late now anyway, isn't it, when he went up with the queen?
Yes, he needed the diamonds to break 3-3 with him guessing the diamonds. I suppose the queen is better because he can drop the double and jack of diamonds offside and works against king third onside. Playing a diamond of a 10 only works against jack third onside, so playing the queen was the percentage play.
You see, Roland, that Yarp is completely mystified by your instructions to turn the sound off if you want to listen to the BBO commentators. I think everyone else understands it, okay?
Maybe I could have put it clearer but I thought it was pretty clear that you should turn off sound for the on-site commentators.
Grue is going to make this now. Sorry, Roland, to interrupt. Grue is going to make this now after spade from, well, Brink and then Drijver. Grue's getting 2 spade tricks out of this.
I'm sorry that we can't correct the score line once the table is up. As I said before, you should add 7 imps to the USA 2 score because the ruling went in their favor. But if we are to correct that, we have to shut down first, and I don't think that is desirable. We'll lose about 7,000 spectators.
Great result for the USA here. Got 10 imps back in kind of a surprising way. So very helpful for them, very morale boosting for them.
Yes, we are down to 60 imps now. So the real score is 2-3-2. So a couple of more of those, say in the next 5 or 6 boards, and it can become interesting.
North-South are playing a strong club system, so their natural bid when they have a lower range opening with long clubs is to open 2 clubs, as is common in nearly all strong club systems. The 2-no trump bid is being explained, you can see on the screen, by our wonderful operator. Heaven knows how they find the time to tap in these explanations with all they have to do.
Yes, and our operator for this set is Gerbrand Hop.
2-no trumps has the double meaning you see, and the opener will rebid 3 clubs on most hands, which South can pass if he's got the weak club raise, as he does. If he's got instead a strong 2-suiter, he can go on and bid something like 3 diamonds or 3 hearts or 3 spades to show which 2 suits he has.
Would any of you get back in with Brink's cards now that South has shown a weak raise in clubs? You are non-vulnerable.
No, I wouldn't. You've got a marginal hand. His partner couldn't act over 2 clubs with apparent shortage in clubs. He doesn't have enough for your side to make game, so I think it's right to give it away. The Queen of Clubs is not a special value.
In the other room, he's just got all the way to 4 hearts. Well, I wouldn't be too concerned, you know, about doubling 3 clubs. If partner bids 3 diamonds, well, I can take a view, I can pass it, or I can bid 3 hearts.
In fact, 4 hearts is a pretty good contract and are rather unlucky to go down. At the other table, North cashed 2 diamonds, switched to the singleton spade, and when South got in with the ace of trumps, he was able to get a ruff. So this is a pretty unlucky board for the USA team.
Yeah, they're gaining some imps, but perhaps not as many as they thought or as they perhaps deserve to.
At the other table, the bidding started at a lower level as they weren't playing the strong club system. 1 club, 1 spade, and West decided to come in with 2 hearts. Fair enough, and his partner raised to 4 hearts over the 3 club rebid. North actually opened a diamond for system reasons and rebid 3 clubs. Yeah, that is still pretty unlucky, isn't it? It looks like a solid heart game, and they did well to reach it. You can imagine the American declarer just shrugging his shoulders and saying, well, partner, this isn't our day, I'm afraid.
So,
Now that's an exciting score from the closed room.
Yep, we are now in the redouble area. Well, something must happen. So if it is a question of making or going 1 down only, I suppose that you can risk a redouble, given the state of the match.
Yeah, if it's making a 1-off, the mathematics are in your favour.
Certainly the contract has had no play, obviously, as East-West had 4 top losers in a hard contract.
The redouble from the West player was pretty incredible, really. He'd made a takeout double over 1 spade, 2 spades on the second round. His partner had bid 3 hearts. I was going to say his partner had showed nothing, but in fact they may be playing Laden Soul responses where he could bid 2 no trumps on a bust. In that case, 3 hearts might show some values. But anyway, he went on to 4 hearts on the West cards, and when he was doubled, he redoubled. So I mean, he wouldn't dream of doing that if it wasn't for the match situation.
Three diamonds will make easily, but that will be 7 imps to the Dutch.
Yes. But they had the chance of a good result in the other room if only they had passed the 3 spades.
I suppose sometimes players redouble on these situations just because the opponents have found a fit, and they're rather hoping that the opponents will run back into spades, having bid all the way up to 3 spades, rather than risk a redoubled contract being made. But here the Dutch were having none of that, particularly South, who was looking at 3 aces that he had good hopes for, and it just stuck the redouble.
Grue just looking to in-play the defence a little bit, see if he can suck an extra trick out of them, either by setting up the clubs or by giving away spade trick, and possibly a squeeze, but the squeeze doesn't work. Brink's only play here is a low club. To do that, he needs to be confident that partner has the other heart. So Brink knows that there was no squeeze on, or if there was a squeeze on, then there wasn't a squeeze on, if that makes any sense at all.
Meanwhile, in the transnational final between Australia and Israel juniors, the Israelis are up by 53 imps with 10 boards to be played. Now, if Israel win, it's an amazing achievement. They are reigning world champions. They are reigning European champions. They are reigning White House international champions. So if they are winning this as well, it's quite amazing.
There were quite a lot of big name players in that transnationals. Did any of them do any good, Roland?
The favoured team, the Mackwell team, Angelini, were knocked out, I think, in In the quarterfinals, yes, in the quarterfinals by the Gordon team from USA.
I saw Angelini was pretty high up in the Swiss tournament that they all drop into once they've been knocked out of the transnationals. But I don't think they'll regard that as too much of a triumph to finish, say, fourth in that.
So as always seems to happen in these big chase situations, there's always a little accident here, a little accident there, and imps going to the team that was in front. And when the lead is so big, even a few imps going the other way damages your momentum as the chasing side and just puts you that little bit further behind.
So in the other room, the Americans had an opportunity, kind of, against 5 clubs played by South, if West had found a low hard lead.
He actually led the 2 of diamonds, and Declarer was then able to draw trumps and score all 13 tricks. If West had led
here, Brink has to, on this hand, Brink has to win the ace of hearts and switch to a spade. They can take this 2 off. If he goes a little bit cautious and returns a heart, then Grue has an awful lot of tricks, like the rest.
He has the option of cashing the ace of spades at trick 2 for an attitude signal from his partner, rather than committing everything to the suit that's been led. If he discourages on the ace of spades switch, he just goes back to hearts. This would be normal defense for any good pair.
Well, Kid Woolsey says that you don't need a signal from partner. You know spade shift is right.
Yeah, you know that hearts can't be right. Partner doesn't have king, queen, 10, 9 of hearts, so you must play a spade, and you must play a low spade in case partner has a holding like king, maybe king. No, I guess you can escape with the ace, but you still want to be playing a low spade here conceptually.
Is it not possible that East has got king 10 9 6th in the heart suit?
Yeah, it is possible. You're right. Could have 6 of them.
Wouldn't you leave a low one for attitude? Well, that's what he's played for, but it hasn't worked out.
The defence we were talking about rather assumed that West knew that Declarer had loads of tricks to take in the minors, because if he had to knock out a card there, then West would be right to clear his partner's suit. In fact, he could see that there was a pretty awful club suit had gone down, and he had some reason to hope that his partner might have a stopper in the club suit.
Yeah, although his queen X wasn't gold. So that was really more a missed opportunity for the Dutch.
To make an overcall in a 4-card suit at the 1 level, you need 3 things usually. You need to have enough points for an opening bid, a pretty chunky 4-card suit, And usually, strange as it may seem, it's favourable if you've got length in the suit which has been opened on your right, because you can then expect your partner to be short in that suit, and he's likely to have some sort of fit for your 4-card suit.
Well, first hurdle, we have to hop the ace of diamonds and start playing trumps. You certainly don't want to be going king of diamonds, darwin rough. It's possible 7 is from holdings like king 9-7, king 8-7, so you might consider the finesse. It doesn't look likely it to be from a 5-card holding, a 4-card holding. I guess Grue and Lall lead thirds and low, so the 7 could be from king 8-7-4, king 9-7-4, so hopping the ace could have some danger if you take the spade finesse, lose the king, and then it goes king of diamonds, diamond rough on the way back.
When you've bid a suit and you have support to the 4 level, you've pretty obviously got a safe lead in that suit much of the time, even if the guy on lead holds the ace. So when he decides to lead a different suit, such as the diamond here, you'll often find that that is a singleton. You can't really imagine that he would make some pretty wild lead from 3 cards to the king or 4 cards to the king of diamonds when he could have started with a heart. If Declarer does run this and suffers a rough, he's got another top loser in heart, so he would then need to find the king of spades on side, and that would mean giving south a couple of kings, and it's not quite so likely, really.
He'll be expecting that Grue has 5 hearts and Lall has 4 hearts, and if Lall has 4 hearts only, he's going to have a side suit, and it's actually likely to be diamonds. So all the indications are that the 7 of diamonds is a singleton.
If he goes up with the ace of diamonds, you would expect him then to run the queen of spades, because that would risk North getting his rough anyway if he could cross over to the south hand with a heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he
I guess we'll just be thinking about... Sorry, just saying he'll be thinking about Grue having king X of spades rather than king third, in which case it might be right to play ace 1 spade.
No, dear Yup, the contract is cold if he rises with the ace.
Thanks to the Queen of Hearts.
If he plays the way we expect, going up with the ace of diamonds, playing ace and another trump, does he have enough tricks if a third trump is played back?
No, he's got a problem, so he might need to play the Queen of Hearts off the board, very strangely. Arrange his ruffs early. Even then, he does... Let's see... He won't get tapped out, so he'd be okay.
Yes, and that is good play, of course, and perhaps also logical if you think a diamond is a singleton. Because if South has a heart on a, you're down anyway, so you might as well play the queen yourself.
I think Brink will be spitting chips right about now. Now he's pretty confident that Grue's looking at the ace-king of hearts and that he could have played the other way. I'm sure that Brink thought of playing the other way and decided that South was likely to have a big heart on her, and if that was a singleton diamond, he was likely to suffer a rough no matter what.
Why is it no matter what? If the trumps were 2-2, then ace and another would clear the trumps, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but my bet is that he decided that Lau was likely to have a singleton spade. If Grue has a singleton diamond, then he's likely to have the longer spades.
Yes, that's a good point. Because of South's leap all the way up to 4 hearts on very limited values, he couldn't possibly be 5-4-2-2 for such a bid, really.
So, just another flat board.
Oh no.
If you transfer into spades and jump to 4 diamonds to show singleton diamonds and some slam interest, North has a reasonable hand.
Yes, but he has a lot of points in diamonds. That's the flaw there.
Of course.
But I agree, he has a reasonable hand. Yeah.
First of all, he actually has the number of high card points is shown, which is extremely unusual
Nowadays.
in the course of this match.
Yes. But maybe not for Verhees. They play a very solid game.
By contrast.
Ah, you don't agree?
So East has doubled 2 spades for takeout, and South still has the same slam try that he had before, but now he must be very suspicious about his partner's no trump opening bid.
Well, maybe so, but he can upgrade his king of clubs if that's necessary. He bids for diamonds. Now let's see if Joe Grue is, has the same ideas as you, Barry, that he still likes the north hand.
It was written on the piece of paper that 4 diamonds was key card.
I see.
Not a splinter.
Wow.
Roman keycard Blackwood. Presumably it's a 1430 sequence. So North has 2 key cards and no queen of trumps.
So that means a simple sign off in 5 spades.
Right. It would appear in the other room that South's 3-heart bid showed spades and an unspecified singleton. 3 spades asked where, and 4 clubs said singleton, diamond.
No doubt Bas Drijver will cash his 2 aces.
You would think. You can be fairly confident that underleading the ace of clubs isn't going to achieve anything.
Well, if there's one ace to be underlet, it should be the ace of hearts, isn't it?
Perhaps
That's
that was
too
why
late.
they led the ace of clubs in the other room.
Okay.
No swing. One more board crossed off the list. 7 to go.
Yeah, but it won't be here, because I can't make any game. Of course, our teammates have 200 in the other room. So you may be able to just gain a little, but even that is not certain.
I can't believe that anyone would be moaning that they should have conceded this, because they're playing at a brisk pace, and it's still pretty interesting, isn't it, to see these players that we've been watching for 2 weeks just perform their final rites, even if the USA can't catch up. I'm really pleased that they decided to play for the full distance. It may seem a close decision for North to go on to 2 spades facing the 1-no trump rebid. I think one of the reasons he may have done that is that if his partner was maximum with 3-card spade support, he might then bid a 3rd spade, and they could go into a 5-3 spade fit, play a thin game, and maybe make a vulnerable game swing that way. So 2 spades allows you the chance of possibly a big board, and passing 1-no trump would not. And the bidding was exactly the same at the other table too.
Yes, I can't see that there is a way back for USA now. And this will be the 2nd triumph for a Dutch Open team. The first Bermuda Bowl win was in 1993 in Chile. And on that team was Bauke Muller. And he is in the team again.
Obviously, Italy and the USA have won the championship many times, but does this second win put the Netherlands into third place, Roland?
There is a chance of that. I have to go through everything to make sure. I do
France
think
have won a couple. 50.
France, yes.
France won one in 50 and then in 97, right? So that's 2.
No, 97 was Norway.
9.
Sorry, you said 97. Sorry, I thought you said 2007.
97? No, Norway was... Yeah, 97.
No, sorry, Ben. I thought you said 2000.
Brazil won... Sorry. Brazil won in 89, just the one, I think. They also won the Olympiad and the Rosenblum.
But I can't find a link to the list. One moment. So if you scroll down, you'll find all the winners from 1950.
So what's happening here? Declarer has 4 tricks already in the bag. He's got the ace and king of spades to come. That brings him up to 6. He'll be hoping to lead a Damen towards dummy and maybe making some use of the 9, even if East has to split his honours. So probably he's going to make, what would we guess, 7 tricks at least.
That's very good play. So by playing the 10 of spades, he kind of kills the 9 of spades on the board. Grue could have hopped the ace and tried to rup a heart to hand, but of course he knew that would get over after another spade would hit him up.
And Ben was absolutely right. France won it twice, and no one else did. So Netherlands will be tied second if they win. Well, tied third, of course, after USA and Italy.
Well, he actually managed to make that contract, so he made 2 tricks more than at the other table, and that's 7 imps back, so that's something.
Yeah, and the score is now 2-4-3. 57 adrift. 6 boards to go. Well, you need 6 2-digit swings, and that is impossible.
In any case, it's still worth your while playing tightly, playing as well as you can in the final set, because although winning and losing is really everything, it's much better to lose by 23 than by 90, say. Imagine how disappointed USA 1 must have been losing to Italy in the bronze playoff by 90 imps. That's a bit of a hammering, isn't it? I don't know if that was in any way due to them trying to work miracles late in the match, because I didn't watch any of it.
or as Alfredo Gasarcha said, we really need to win this match, because finishing outside the top three would be a debacle for Italy.
Particularly as they had such high hopes with three very strong pairs. You know, when we saw some of them interviewed before the championship, they really were pretty hopeful, and they'd done well in the European. They were the bookies' favourites, I'm sure. This opening bid of one no trump is nominally 14 to 16 on the card, so we are now seeing deliberate bending really to try and create a swing. He might also have done it the other way, opening three diamonds would be a good attempt really, with so little defence to the majors, might have caused a problem.
Well, he's going to make this by overtaking the Queen of Diamonds with the King, and
and he has no other chance, so he has to overtake the Queen of Diamonds now. He is home.
He's very pleased to see the Nine of Diamonds drop straight away. I don't think he'll believe that singleton.
Absolutely amazing. 5 diamonds, 3 clubs and the ace of hearts, and the defence can't take more than 4 tricks.
The only lead to shoot it was a spade to the east hand and then a heart through to the jack. That's extremely difficult to find and obviously not very practical.
It's the sort of luck that could be priceless if you were 29 behind and is a little bit wasted when you're 63 behind, but still very welcome nevertheless.
Well, we're down to 50 now, but again, only 5 boards to go, so you need a miracle. But Kit Woolsey is absolutely right when he says that the tension will be high now, because from their point of view, if USA is having a decent set at the other table, the match could be pretty close. Because Grue and Lall in this room have had a tremendous set.
Yeah, they bid a couple of ugly games that they've managed to bring home, and they haven't really gone wrong with anything pushy they've tried.
Except for the 400 in the redoubled contract, but that only cost them 7 as it happens.
Yes, but I was talking from Grue and Lall's point of view at this table, David.
That's right, sorry. I had the other table scorecard up in my results, so I was confused by that. Yes, indeed. Now I look at the My Table tab. Wow, they've only had one minus score, and that was minus 50 and 2 hearts. So they must be secretly hoping that they're making Bermuda Bowl history. Quite a respectable dummy went down on this board, facing 14 to 16 no trump, so it wouldn't have been apparent to the defenders that it was a very thin game, but as each trick ticks by, they'll get a clear picture by the end of the sort of hand that South did open on and realise that it will be a big swing away.
So the difference is...
The Dutch will be happy that it's not vulnerable and only 7 imps.
Difference is exactly 50 imps now.
I'm thinking back to that slam that was bid late in the previous set.
Well, you must choose your Grand Slam carefully.
Ben, can you hear David and me? Well, I thought so. Otherwise it wouldn't interrupt.
I was going to say that if the margin does come in, they're going to be thinking back to that dodgy slam that they bid near the end of the previous set, where the cards did in fact lie such that if declarer had taken the right view, they would reward him, and that would have made the margin really substantially less than 50. They'd have had a slam swing their way instead of some sort of swing out. I don't know the exact figures, but it could well have been worth another 20 imps, and then it would have been really exciting.
So here is an opportunity. Oh, I was about to say that, and then we had the result from the other room. We needed the Americans to have bid the Grand Slam in the other room, and the Dutch to stop in 6. Here there's no chance of a game for America. Perhaps they can flatten the board, but they can't gain anything. The Dutch will get to at least 6 hearts.
Well, one chance they've got is that the Dutch might get to 7 spades and go down on the bad break there.
That's true. If they've set spades, then they will go down in 7 spades.
On the face of it, no one's mentioned the heart suit yet.
Yeah, I agree with that, David. I think they have set spades. Seven hearts is, of course, a better contract.
Yes, it's much better, not only because you might survive a 4-1 break in spades, but if you're playing in 7 spades, you've got the long card in diamonds to worry about. No discard is available, so that really means that 7 spades would be a bad contract.
So 7 spades would even go down if the one with 2 diamonds has 3 trumps. Because you can't get rid of the 6 of diamonds.
It may be that 7 hearts is just with the odds, but it's not quite as good as it looks. Seems you would have to play to... Well, no, the spades might break, and you might, if the trumps were 3-2, you could ruff your last diamond. And otherwise, you would have to set up the west hand.
As it is, you would make 7 spades regardless, even if spades was 3-2, because the 9 of diamonds will be high, Jack 10 being doubleton.
In standard bidding, West would indeed respond to diamonds, but the East would then have bid three diamonds or 3 hearts at his third turn, and then they might have had a chance, had he rebid in hearts, to find the heart fit. We don't really know what 2-no trumps means. That's often a second negative, but even 2 diamonds is marked as artificial. I'll see what's on there. I don't have their card up. Do you, Roland? Have you got the Dutch convention card up?
No, I haven't, sorry. Are you back among the living now, Ben?
I certainly hope so.
We've been waiting for you to give us a very lucid explanation of this auction. 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 spades. Roland and I can understand that, but what on earth has happened since then?
Perhaps 2-no trumps was a transfer to 3 clubs, and followed by 3 spades, it showed a sound raise to 3 spades.
Well, it's quite good in a way for the Dutch. 7 spades is going down, so they're at least vaguely matching the score in the other room.
See that 6 spades would have gone down if it hadn't been for the 9 of diamonds.
Well, not exactly. You can draw 2 rounds of trumps, get the bad news, cash the ace king of diamonds, cross to a heart, and lead a diamond up, and leave North to the ugly choice of beating the air with his trump, a 2-player trump, or letting you score the queen of diamonds and then ruff the 6 of diamonds. Either way, he just gets his trump trick.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a bad hand for standard bidding, because if it did go 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 spades, West would bid 3 spades, and you would never find the fit in hearts. That's partly because you're wasting a bit of space by starting off as high as 2 clubs. Maybe it would be possible playing 1-club systems to do better, certainly some sort of relay system.
Yeah, but you won't get it all to yourself if you open 1 club, David. Look at the South card. He'll bid a number of clubs.
Given 2 spades could have been a 4-card suit, my guess is that 2-no trump was just asking partner to describe his hand further. So perhaps 3 clubs was just shortage in clubs.
Because of the fall of the Jack of Diamonds, declarer is planning to lead twice towards his honours in the manner that Ben described. In case the Jack was singleton, he could perhaps lead towards the diamonds once, cross over to a heart, lead towards them again, and still rough the fourth round, North having to rough air if he chose to use up his trump trick by roughing in the second position. It's a standard form of avoidance play to lead towards honours that you don't want to be roughed. At the other table, the bidding was a diamond from North, a heart, one no trump rebid from North, and that ended it. Although East-West have got good values, they saw no opportunity to come in on that bidding. Not surprisingly, West's best suit was just a bit ahead of him.
Not a pretty spot, this. Well, it always happens to me, and now you see it in action. When you decide to bid like that and you pass two diamonds, partner has 3, 3, 2, 5. Thank you very much, partner.
We saw another example of this use of weak stamen, as it's called, not that long ago, and in that case the shape of the responding hand was 3, 4, 4, 2. At least here he's got both the majors, so he hopes that he can improve the contract by using stamen, intending to pass whatever response his partner makes.
Yes, he was hoping for a fit because he had the option. He had the option of bidding two hearts over two diamonds to get out in a 4-3 fit in a major. At least that will ensure that you don't play in a 4-2 fit. Although partners... Okay, David, you're first.
Nothing very special. I was just going to say it's interesting how when the trump was led, that Brink didn't waste his queen as some club players would. The queen would be gobbled up by the ace-king doubleton, and that would promote the value of the done is 10. So that may well be a standard expert play to stick the 4 of diamonds on, but it's not one that most club players would find, perhaps.
And I was going to say that nowadays you see many one-no trump openings with 2-2 in the majors, and then it's no good to proceed with two hearts to find a 4-3 fit.
Yes, that's right. And when your hand is very weak, I mean, he's not incredibly weak here. He's got 4 points facing 14 to 16. But when you are weak, the odds may lie in stopping in two diamonds when you haven't yet been doubled, because particularly if you're non-vulnerable, you don't really mind when you're very weak going off in 50s at all, and you've always got the option to move up a level and offer partner a choice of the majors if you are doubled by making an SOS redouble. Another point is that if the bidding goes 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, and then you bid 2 hearts or 2 spades, for many pairs this is a mild game try, so it's not really available as part of the weak stamen method. You can bid 2 clubs if you're willing to pass 2 diamonds, but you can't bid on because you would then be making a game try, and I've always found that very useful, that 2 hearts or 2 spades via a failing stamen sequence when it goes 2 clubs, 2 diamonds. That should be a mild game try, and you can keep beautifully low when partner doesn't want to accept.
I think Grue and Lall wouldn't replicate the closed room result very often.
No, pass out. It doesn't exist for them. But they were able to stay low with 11 opposite 11. That's quite good.
There's no way that the USA 2 team is going to regret playing this final set. They've played some good stuff, they've made a couple of thin games. They've shown how it is possible to catch some imps back. It's just that they had too many imps to catch back. But particularly in this room, they've played extremely well and can be well pleased that they did play the final 16 boards.
I don't believe he played it like this. If he played a club to the queen holding, he's definitely not going to let the jack hold now. Because he doesn't want a low spade from East now, so why would he allow him to gain the lead?
That's true, but maybe he does want to keep the ace of clubs as an entry to those winners without having to use up the ace of diamonds. But certainly it's a good point, as you say, that the spades are a bit safer if only West can attack them. I realise you'll be saying a few words at the end of this set, Roland, but perhaps I can say now, in the lull of this 1 no trump contract, what an absolutely mammoth effort it's been from you to do voice commentary on every single session. I mean, you must be so exhausted, and very well done, and we've enjoyed commentating with you.
Thanks, David. As you know, it has been a pleasure for me, as always. If you don't love this game, you don't love my job, I can tell you that. By the way, I got the diploma now. Someone brought it back to me. Finished early in Open. Very nice looking diploma, framed. So I just need someone to nail it to the wall because I've got 10 thumbs. But it is now safe to congratulate the Netherlands on winning the gold medal. Great achievement by the young Dutch team. Also a lot of credit to the USA 2 team. I'm pretty sure that if you ask the players before the event started if they will settle for a silver medal, they would take it immediately and run away. So well done to them as well.
Certainly the first time that I've watched every board of a Bermuda Bowl final, and I found it a very rewarding experience. Gives you a good impression of how fantastically tough it would be to play a long match against either of the two teams we've been watching. It's amazing that they can keep up such a high standard of bidding and play for 96 boards. Of course, we may say once or twice,
You know, something I really like about
Go on, David. Ben can't hear you, so that's why he interrupted.
Yes, that's a shame. Anyway, I was saying that, of course, there may be the odd board where we sort of think, oh, they could have done a bit better by bidding this or playing that. But, I mean, just imagine, we've been watching 96 boards, and the actual quality of play, particularly from the Dutch team, has been relentless. You know, there's hardly a bad bid there, and I think they played wonderfully well. I remember going back decades that sometimes the Bermuda Bowl finals were absolutely awful because the players were exhausted. The worst example, I think, was when Austria played the USA. It must have been when I was a schoolboy several decades ago. But it's certainly not the case now, and I've been very impressed.
It was 1988 in Venice. By the way, they even played 128 boards, David.
That's right, but the quality in that final in 1988 was really quite laughable. Really, it was sad to see that, you know, this showpiece event of World Bridge could be played at what was such a poor standard. And this match has been the exact opposite. It's been impressive in every set.
I agree. I was in Venice at the time, and it certainly wasn't a pleasure to watch, I must say. Horrible bridge, of course, particularly by the Austrians, but as you said, they were exhausted. No one expected them to make it to the final, and they had just given their everything until they reached the final. So here we are on the last board of the match and the Bermuda Bowl. It's time for me to thank our excellent operator, Gerbrand Hopp, Thanks to my co-commentators, David Bird and Ben Thompson. And to all our colleagues doing the written commentary, too many to mention really. I think I've seen 8 or 9. Our gratitude goes to the World British Federation for allowing us to broadcast from this prestigious event. Greatly appreciated by British fans all over the world, I can safely say. Also thanks to Jacob Hopp, who on behalf of BBO has coordinated everything on site. Very well done to him. Last but not least, thanks to all our listeners throughout the 2 weeks. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming every day. We really hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did, and that you will be back on another occasion. Thanks everyone.
By a small miracle, it seems that the 2 tables are going to finish together. I think, were we ahead or behind? I forget. But anyway, they've just finished bidding this board, stopped in 5 hearts plus 1. As we see, it is a very low point count hand on which you can make 12 tricks, but too difficult to bid, even though West's King, Jack of Clubs are completely wasted. So that'll be a flat board to end the match.
So please stay around here. Soon the players will be presented to you.
Good.